Welcome to the Pottery, the interactive podcast where real life gets a little more honest and a little more creative, and hopefully a lot more hopeful. I'm Tess, host, potter, healer in progress, and I'm so glad you're here. Here's how things work around here. This isn't just a show you listen to passively. It's a real journey you can join in on. Isn't that exciting? If you want to get the most out of each episode, go ahead and grab a journal, a notebook, even the back of a receipt will do. We'll pause for writing, reflection, and a few real-life action steps every single week. So you'll always walk away with something more than just ideas. Today, we're diving into a topic I know everyone can relate to: burnout. We're talking heavy loads, empty tanks, and the myth that you're supposed to just keep pushing. Together, we'll explore what it really takes to start healing from burnout, create real momentum, and rediscover joy in the everyday mess. I'll share personal stories from my own journey out of pain and overwhelm, offer practical tips you can actually use, and invite you to jump in, reflect, and maybe even share your own stories too. So whether you're brand new to journaling, burnout, or just craving a dose of hope and humanity, you belong here. Take a moment, get comfortable, and let's get started, because healing, just like pottery, starts messy and gets more beautiful with every honest step. If you've ever thought, am I the only one this tired? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Pottery. Let's get started. Before we get started, here's the deal. This show is interactive, and you're going to want a journal, a notebook, or hey, even the back of a receipt will work. But please, promise me you're not going to try to write while you're driving or doing anything risky. Give yourself permission to focus and be present. If you've got the Pottery Journal, perfect. It has every episode's prompts built right in, and it'll take you deeper. If you haven't gotten yours yet, don't stress. Use whatever you have. And when you're ready, you can order the Pottery Journal from my website, www.mantramud.com. That's mud with 2 Ds. Just click the podcast section and you'll find everything you need about the show, including the journal link. The pottery is a hands and heart-on experience, so keep your journals close. If you don't have the Pottery Journal yet, any notebook works. And whenever you hear this sound, that's your cue to pause and write honestly, no overthinking. All right, let's really settle in. I'm Tess, and if we were sitting together right now, I would tell you to grab your most comfortable seat and let your guard down for a while. Whether you're overloaded, hopeful, numb, or running on fumes, this hour, this little sliver of time, is all for you. Things are a little different here. No perfection required, and I'm not going to pretend that I've got it all together every day. Some mornings, I'm up before dawn. Actually, every morning, I meditate for about an hour on gratitude. Other days, getting out of bed is the only win. I'm not here to fix you. My hope is that you'll see showing up, honest and real, is already enough. You'll hear me talk about journaling a lot, because actually writing things down is how the real shifts happen. My Pottery Journal is built to track your breakthroughs, not just give you a good feeling while you listen. You can always find it and everything podcast related at mantramud.com. Again, that's mud with 2 Ds. And just look for the podcast section. Whether you have the journal or not, you're welcome here, 100%. Write wherever you can. And if you ever want that little extra support, the journal is there when you're ready. Now, take a deep breath, settle in, and let's do something most people never do. Actually, pause to take care of ourselves. And let's do it on purpose. If you've got the pottery journal, I want you to open it to a nice, crisp, blank page. If you don't have a journal yet, that's okay. Grab a notebook, an envelope, even the back of your latest receipt. Look at that fresh page. Brand new, waiting for whatever you're carrying. This is our first journey together. Are you excited? Because I am so excited. It might not sound exciting to dump your stress on a page, but this is where change actually begins. I'm tearing up right now. That's how excited I am. I don't want you to overthink. Don't polish it. There's only one rule here for this exercise, and it's to not overthink it. I want you to just put your pen to paper and let it pour out. Fast and real. Don't overthink it. Don't pretty it up and let it all pour out. Fast and real. So when I ask a question, I want you to write it on the paper, the very first thing that comes to your mind. Even if it sounds ridiculous or small, that's how real breakthroughs start. Are you ready? Okay, let's stir the pot. I'm going to ask my very first question. Here we go. Close your eyes. Clear your mind. Take your time and hit pause if you need more space or longer breath. This is your space. What are you tired of hauling around even if nobody else sees it? The next question I'm going to ask you is, where do you say yes out of guilt, but not because you mean it? My next question is, what thought, worry, or memory keeps swirling at night or makes the quiet loud? Just keeps nagging at you. Are we ready for the next question? Who or what zaps your spirit, even if you care about them? That's a hard one. And lastly, what little annoyance or so-called petty frustration would you secretly love to quit carrying? Take your time. Again, hit pause if you need more space or a longer breath. This is your space. Okay, check out your list. Now, here's the bold part. This is where I challenge you. What I want you to do now is I want you to look over your list very carefully. Pick one. Pick just one. One thing. The thing that annoys you the most or weighs you down the hardest. Put a big, huge, bold line right through it. Just scratch it right off the list. Scratch it out. For today, just for today, let yourself off the hook for that one thing. Just scratch it off. Now I'm going to tell you my story about my list. My first cross off the list confession is I used to stress out about replying to every single message and keeping up with every tiny chore. And one day I just crossed it off. No one noticed, just me. And the world didn't explode. But my shoulders sure dropped an inch. It felt great. Seriously, look at that line. How does it feel to have that written down and crossed off? Does it feel a little lighter? Maybe awkward, maybe freeing? Just notice. Don't judge. No judgment here. Now, here's your challenge. I dare you, not just to write it, but to live it. For the next 24 hours, I want you to act like that isn't your problem. And every time your mind tries to reel it back in, I want you to treat it like a persistent telemarketer. Nope, not today. I crossed it off. Not today. We're not going to do it. And notice what shifts. Maybe nothing happens except you breathe a little easier. Or maybe your whole day feels lighter. And you know what that's called? Do you? That's called progress. Let me be real. Stress and pain ran my entire world for years. I'm not just talking about a few tough days. There were stretches where I lived with level 10 pain. I was in and out of the hospital and nursing homes, stuck in a wheelchair and on so much medication just to make it through the day that sometimes moving my fingers felt like an Olympic feat. I'm not joking. There were days that surviving was my only win. So what changed? Well, it wasn't luck, and it wasn't some fancy quick fix. What actually changed my life was getting serious about discipline. I started meditating every single morning, 4 a.m., not just when I feel like it either. This was one, and still is, full hour every morning, no matter what. The meditation became as much part of my healing as any prescription. I'd start with gratitude, and not just thinking nice thoughts, but feeling what I was grateful for. My breath, a moment with my grandkids, or the chance to keep trying. Then I scan my body, starting with my toes, moving up to my legs, my hands, my heart, connecting my mind and my body. Still learning how to really be in my body after years of hurting. And pottery became my moving meditation. My hands working, my mind focused. I started with absolutely no experience. I had no idea what I was doing. I learned on YouTube with buckets and buckets of ruined clay and my own stubbornness because I couldn't easily get into a studio. I made it a daily part of healing, even on days when I wanted to give up. Pottery was another form of showing up for myself. The other turning point was my diet. This was the key right here. I cut out sugar, processed food, and just ate real, whole food. Treating my body with respect, because after multiple sclerosis, every choice mattered. And still, to this day. I enjoy a beer or a glass of wine every now and then, and I don't apologize for enjoying life. But my body now gets treated with a new respect. Small steps over and over changed everything. I was no longer in survival mode. I was building a life. Look, I want you to know I am no superhero. There were plenty of times I wanted to quit, days when progress was hard. And my perfectionist brain said, if you can't do it perfectly, don't bother. But I kept going, pot by pot, meal by meal, day by day. Now it's your turn. Jot this down. What part of your life, your food, rest, quiet time, or how you treat your own heart, could use a little more discipline or a little more true self-love? What's one micro change you could start this week? Even if it's just 5 quiet minutes or one healthy food swap. Maybe just giving yourself permission to say, I matter for once. Try it for 7 days. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up. And that is how rebuilding starts. Let me slow down and share something incredibly close to my heart. My daughter, Caitlin, has a passion for baking. I used to watch her in the kitchen, measuring and mixing and getting creative. She was full of excitement and focus. Watching her light up through that process made me proud beyond words. There's nothing like seeing someone you love come so alive doing something that they truly enjoy. Sometimes I would just be still and watch, marveling at how fully invested, happy, and fulfilled she looked. Right there with a bowl and a mixer. Those moments were magic. I remember her perfecting her cake, recipe after recipe, and when she had finally gotten that perfect combination, it was one of the most delicious cakes I've ever tasted. But like it often does, life got busy. More responsibilities and more have-to-dos. That spark faded into the background. Baking just became another thing set aside for later. And then, after listening to the podcast, Caitlin called me. I had sent her this episode to listen to before I published it so I could get her feedback. She was moved, and I mean really moved. What she had actually told me was, I pushed play and I really didn't think anything of it. I just thought I was listening to the show and going to give you feedback. And next thing you know, I'm sitting down with a piece of paper and something to write with, and I'm participating. And she did. She sat down and she followed my prompts. She had made her list and she had crossed some things off, things that were weighing on her, as I instructed. And suddenly, in the space that she created, she noticed how much she missed baking. She told me, Mom, I want to pick that joy back up, and I want to feel that passion again. Let me tell you, that call filled me with so much joy and gratitude. I could have danced. Hearing someone that you love name what they miss, not only something she missed, but something she has so much passion and talent for, and then reach for it, is one of the best feelings in the world. That's why I ask you to do this work, not just to let go of what's heavy, but to find and rediscover that creative spark, the joy or the baking in your life that maybe got left on the back burner. Whatever it is, when you look at your list, what's an old spark, joy, or hobby, a moment or a dream that you have missed? If you could clear even a little space for this week, what is one small, real step that you could take to reclaim it just for you? I want you to take a breath. No pressure to do it all right now, but honor what rises up. Let's see what beauty and passion you might rediscover in the space that you make. Let's take a moment to celebrate every honest page, every little victory, and each spark you just relit for yourself. You don't have to go big to honor a breakthrough. Sometimes the smallest action is the most powerful. Write this down, or simply say it in your heart if you're not able to journal at this time. What is one yes that you want to give yourself this week? Maybe it's a phone call, a half hour of creative play, or dancing in your kitchen. Or how about truly resting without guilt? What's one step you can take right now or in the next few days to bring even a sliver of that joy back into your routine? Give yourself credit just for thinking about it. Take another breath, one page at a time. This is how new possibilities take root. Take this time to pause. The moments you claim for yourself matter, no matter how small. If you need to pause, please take your time and pause. This is time for you. Take as much as you need. Let that commitment, however small, settle in your heart, because the next time you choose yourself, you'll be stronger, braver, and a little more free. Before we finish up, I want to give you a simple grounding breath just for you. Wherever you are, if you're able to, settle in and feel your feet, your breath, and the weight of your body. Now, I want you to bring to mind one spark of joy or possibility you either remembered or discovered today. Don't force a big moment. Just notice whatever comes to your mind, even if it's small. Let that feeling build as you take another steady breath in and gently out. If you wish, rest your hand on your heart or your chest and thank yourself for showing up, for being honest, and for remembering what matters to you. Make a note in your journal or just name it to yourself. What would it look like this week to give a little more space to that spark, your joy, your curiosity, or your care? Is there one thing you might do, say, or try to protect or grow your joy, no matter how tiny? What is that? Write it down. Let that intention be enough for now. Any step that you take is a win. Take a moment right now and give yourself some credit. No matter how much or how little you wrote, what matters is that you showed up for yourself. Every honest word, every small action, and every yes to your own spark, it adds up to real change. This isn't about being perfect. It's about taking a step, a breath, toward the life and joy that you deserve. If today brought something up for you, a new realization or an old passion, even just a feeling that you can't quite name, I want you to celebrate that. Your journey is not about catching up with anyone else. It's about honoring your own progress, one honest page at a time. And I invite you, if this episode sparked a story, a breakthrough, or even just a moment that you're proud of, I'd love to hear from you. Email me, thepottery@mantramud.com, or connect@mantramud.com. Your story might light the way for someone else. Next week on The Pottery, we're getting honest about emotional boundaries, what it really means to say no without guilt. If you're tired of feeling stretched thin, if you wish you could stand your ground and still care deeply, you'll want to tune in. I'll give you real tips, true stories, and new tools, all coming your way. Oh, and stay tuned to the end of each month for our field trip episode. Something special, always a little unexpected, and a reminder that growth happens inside and outside the studio. If you need some encouragement or bonus support between episodes, you can find me on YouTube at Mantra Mud. And again, that's with 2 Ds. You'll find mantras, meditation, and a boost anytime you need one. But just remember that these goodies are bonuses. Please don't use them as a substitute for the soul work that we do here together every week. Now, let's bring this episode, your first honest step, to a close. Take a breath. Really. Breathe it in, because you just did some powerful work. Today, you didn't just name your invisible load. You took the courageous step of letting a piece of it go. You remembered or even rediscovered a spark of joy that belongs to you. And you turned that hope into a tiny, specific action that you can take in the days ahead. If today brought up something unexpected, a new realization, or a long-lost passion, perhaps a feeling that you can't quite name, I want you to celebrate that. Progress doesn't come in leaps. It comes in honest moments like these. A single line crossed off, a single yes to yourself, a single new possibility allowed in. And if you're proud, inspired, or even just quietly hopeful, I would love to hear from you. Please email me at thepottery@mantramud.com or connect anytime at mantramud.com. Your story, big or small, matters, and it could help another listener realize that they're not alone. Next week on The Pottery, we're taking on emotional boundaries, what it truly means to say no, to hold your ground with kindness, and why protecting your peace is actually the most generous thing you can do for yourself and the people you love. So you don't want to miss it. Oh, and don't forget, our monthly field trip episodes are coming up soon, so keep checking in for something a little different and always a little unexpected. Stay strong, stay inspired, and take care of yourself. Mensana in corpore sano, a healthy mind and a healthy body. Keep journaling, and I'll see you next week on The Pottery.